Yo, millennials, welcome back. This is going to be a slight kind of break from the norm. I'm going to go ahead and make another video skit on Money Matters. I left out a few things I really thought is important that I would really want to address uh, before I forget, really. Money Matters. So the last video, I really kind of just talked about some brief concepts of why money matters and how you will be sensitive to money at different points in life. So like for me, when I was a kid, got an allowance, every month when I did my chores. $20 was an immense amount of money as a teenager. Then I joined the military. $20 felt like $10. And then in college and out of college, $20 felt like $2. Now at 32, $20 feels like 50 cents. As you get older and the scope and the magnitude of what you're trying to do gets bigger, the quantities of money that you get, even though they seem big, really are not that big. Even something like $100, $200 in the grand scheme of things as a fully functional adult really isn't that much money. You just listen to adults talk. I mean, every social economic group is going to be different. A bunch of doctors are going to be talking about tens of thousands of dollars like it's nothing. Whereas a bunch of fast food workers are going to be talking about 10 to 20 bucks. But, it's one thing to really keep that in mind because it can sneak up on you. Believe me, I think it's going to sneak up. It sneaks up on a lot of us. So, if you're in college, the biggest group I like to talk about, again, college folk, you may be riding on loans. You may have grants. Money just seems to just come really easy. You got parents in your pocket, or you got your parents have you in their pocket, or you're in your parents' pocket. One of those. And so it's really hard to, you don't feel that value of money. And I don't mean to make a jab at kids that come from well-to-do backgrounds. But if you're a college kid, you're 19 years old, you're driving a brand new BMW, I would probably argue that you probably don't feel the significant impact of the value of a dollar as somebody who has to work 25 hours a week just to keep money in their back pocket to afford to pay for a transmission that's about to go out, or replace tires, or, keep whatever on. The value is going to be different. It's not to say that the poor person is a bad person or the rich person is a better person. It's just simply, especially at that age when you haven't really worked for it, it's hard to understand the value of that money. So, in college is really easy, but then when you get out and you get out to the real world and you start realizing that stars and dreams and good tidings don't pay the bills. Your rent was due 2 weeks ago, your car note's a month behind, you're still slaving away 40 hours a week, and then you look around and you're like, what the am I doing? Where did I go wrong? I mean, this is going to be a theme I'm going to repeat over and over and over again because it hits so hard. It's hit a lot of my friends really hard. Those that didn't get into any kind of STEM or mathematics-based profession, it really hit them hard because of the fact that they don't have any kind of verifiable hard skills that they can demonstrate that employers are valuing these days. So again, it's going to sneak up on you. So when this might be, I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself, but if you're not in college, or if you're undecided, or if you haven't finished school yet and you have a chance to change your major, really take a very hard look at what you're studying and what you're going to be projected to be earning, because 35 grand and 50 grand don't really mean much now to you, or may not mean that much now to you, but it will mean the world when you get out of college and you are faced with the decision of having to live at home, having to get a roommate or two to move out, or just simply not moving out because you just don't make the money to do it. Again, that is a personal jab at Houston, because Houston is going through some crazy stuff right now. Absolutely insane housing market that is hitting kids really hard. And the only kids that are doing well are going to be your technical degreed kids, your STEM graduates, and those that have been out and been working for a while, simply because of the fact that you just do not make enough of a starting salary to keep up with the rising cost of living, most notably rent. The market is in absolute shambles right now because of the fact that we have so many people that either can't buy a house. We have a lot of immigration, both legal and illegal, that is just sucking up the apartment market. And we have apartment companies that are not building low and middle income housing anymore. There's not enough money for them in that, for them to pursue that. So they're going to be sticking towards the luxury market, where they can mark up the price to whatever the hell they want, and people will pay it because either the folks that are moving in mass to Houston are either going to be expatriates working for companies that can pay whatever the apartment complexes ask for, professionals that can also pay whatever the apartment complexes are asking for, or simply those people that just will just take the hit. They just won't have any disposable income, or they will spend an unreasonable or incredibly large amount of their personal income to stay in those places, either to A, keep themselves in a particular area that they've always wanted to live in, or B, get away from a particular demographic, most notably like your lower class, your thuggy classes, your hood, if you want to go in that way. They want to stay away from them, or they want to keep up the Joneses or keep up that area exclusivity. I mean, any of those reasons are valid reasons for people to do that, but again, it's completely decimated the renting market to where your average rent in Houston right now is hovering around like $1,200 for a decent place. A decent place on the decent side of Houston around, if you want to live around anything remotely interesting in Houston right now, be prepared to shell out $1,100 to $1,200, unless you want to live in a studio apartment in a shady, janky neighborhood. There's nothing wrong with those places. Some of them are nice. Some of them are quiet and safe. You just don't know. You'll have to do some legwork to figure out, is this a place I really want to go? And you probably don't want to park a nice car out there. I'm not saying it's going to get messed with, but hey, somebody could be having a really messed up day and decide they want to take it out on somebody doing better than them. That's just stuff to keep in mind. Now, again, if you're into that bohemian stuff, there are places in the inner loop. This is for Houston people that you could probably find if you're willing to live with a roommate or two, or really do some legwork on Craigslist. You could probably get by, but I don't know about you, but I didn't go to college and do the military to where after I graduated college, I had to live with 2 or 3 other people. Because I lived with people when I was in college, I had 2 roommate situations. One was okay, and then the other one was a nightmare. You know, I was studying for nursing school, and I couldn't even sleep because they were up all night partying every night. That sucked. There's nothing cool or fun about that. So that's stuff to keep in mind. So money matters. When I talk about money mattering, latest reports that I'm reading are encouraging. It's telling that, that the most recent batch of graduates, there is an increasing trend towards STEM degrees. So obviously the message is getting out. Not so much the message, but it's just the reality that, hey, you can't just go to college and just study whatever you want anymore, and you want a secured future. I mean, really, you can't even guarantee yourself a future with STEM, but you're in a hell of a lot better shape if you come out with a degree in accounting, mathematics, engineering, than if you come out in a degree in English literature, gender studies, sociology, history, something of that nature. So remember, really, really, really keep that in mind. It's hard to see now. This is the biggest thing. It's hard to see at this point in life. It really is. When you have your parents in your pocket, we're not going to go back there, but you know what I'm trying to say. You're riding on loans. You're staying in student housing, student dorms. Hey, man, it's great. Life tends to be on the easy street. But once those training wheels come off and you have to go out there and get a job, and you waited until the last minute to look for a job, or you didn't go to the career fairs on campus because you didn't think that was going to apply to you, or you didn't do internships while you're in school, or you didn't network with your professors and talk about what you're going to do after you graduated, or you didn't talk to the career counselors to talk about what you're going to do after you graduate, and you weren't trying to get a job before you graduated, you are going to be in for a really, really, really hard time. It's going to be a really nasty, rude awakening, because I'm telling you, it is nasty out there right now. You have a lot of, in Houston, Houston Houston. We are primarily petroleum based, but a very, very significant portion of our industry is the energy industry. Petroleum being one of the biggest parts of it. And with the recent incredible plummeting of the value of the barrel of oil, you can imagine that Houston has gotten hit really freaking hard. Like, tons of companies are going belly up. They're laying people off by the hundreds, if not thousands. And you're going to have that many more people, unskilled, maybe skilled, bunch of hungry, bunch of desperate people wanting to find work. And we have even that much more infusion of labor into our markets, making job hunt and job searching even that much more difficult. You're having to compete with a lot more guys and girls. And so if you're not really taking care of yourself and making sure that you are doing the right thing, getting yourself prepared with the right course of study, making sure to count your pennies, save your money, do all the legwork, do the hard work while you're an undergrad, you are going to pay for it. Okay? So again, If you're still with me, good job. It was a bit of a stretch. It was a bit of a surprise, but I really felt that this topic really needed to be beat on. I'm going to beat on it more because this is a conversation that should have been had ages ago that's just now being discussed when it's a little bit too late. And it's going to be one of the make or break. It's probably one of the main reasons why I made this network, is to talk about essentially this problem here. So again, please leave comments, talk about it. I know you guys out there are suffering. I know some people are out there doing really well, but this is something that, again, will hit and can hit all of us as industries change, skill sets change, industries are outsourced, automated. Nobody's particularly immune from the issue of money, jobs, not having the right skill set. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. You take care of yourself, millennial. Keep checking me out. I'll see you guys next time.